Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I got another one for you from Mining Disrupt 2025. We're going to be going over the digital shovel, showing you guys around the quality build, showing you guys around their design, and just giving you guys a little update on Mining Disrupt. See what the industry has in 2025. And before we get started, you guys know what to do. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, go to cryptollc.org if you're looking to get yourself some Asic miners, some GPU miners. You're looking to go into Dogecoin, Bitcoin, maybe you want to do some Litecoin, you want to do any of those coins. We have all of that available at cryptollc.org. We buy miners, sell miners, and we help clients build their first data center. If you want to jump in with us at North Dakota, we have that available. We have a megawatt available. So if you want to jump in and get yourself that megawatt, you can. We also are looking to host 1 megawatt in North Dakota. So if you want to host with us, you guys watch our videos on YouTube, you guys see we're almost done with that facility there. Just looking to pass a couple of inspections and get that occupancy permit. Once we're done, we're just going to power it on. So if you want to host with us, that'd be really, really fast in terms of deployment. By the time you get your miners over here, we're pretty much going to be running, so we can plug them in immediately. And before we get started, Bitcoin saves your wealth and Jesus Christ saves your soul. So make sure you guys have one and the other. I gotta have some Bitcoin to save yourself from the inflation of the government, inflating away your money, right? Stealing your time, basically. Time is money, and that's what they're taking from you. So you gotta have some Bitcoin, and then you gotta have Jesus, because Bitcoin's not going with you when your time is up here on Earth, but Jesus is forever. All right, let's go. So showing you guys around this digital shovel container here. This is one of their prototypes, by the way, so this can change. You can see it's double stacked here. It's got that second layer on top with more filtration system going in there. But on the inside, when you walk in, it's not built out yet. So it's a really, I would say like a, further out prototype. So it probably might change significantly as they get closer to launch. And let's go out here. And this one has the open door. We can actually go inside. Let me show you guys.
Take into account, yeah, so 30 days, yeah, but it basically, whenever you hit a block, that's the, whatever your portion of that,
You can see they're using NORC breakers, very standard, nice breakers. We see them being used all around, mining industry in various containers, various manufacturers. A lot of them use NORC, some use different ones like ABA or ABS, I think it's called. But mostly they're all NORC. You have your breakers here, fan auxiliaries, and then breakers for your custom built PDU here. You can see that. So you can see it's custom built, numbered as well. You get it lining up with your breakers there, which is nice. You got your PDU 48 there, or port 48, which is nice. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty. I like it that it's easy access. You walk in here. Here's your miner, right? And then let's say this is miner 10, and then you look over here. Okay, 10 is up here. You're like, all right, 10. And you can go over here, 10. And then it's like, okay, kill it, or turn it back on. That's cool. That's nice. I like that. That is pretty cool. And it's all very, very close. So if you need to just kill it, boom, click it, take it out, whatever you want to do. Obviously, you just unplug them. But if you wanted to do that, you can. Your Ethernet cables most likely can be run through this right here. And since you can see, since we don't have a PDU, right? The PDU is over here. You're gonna have to pull your wire, right? You're gonna have to pull your cord from here to your miner. So if your miner's over here, you're gonna have to pull that long cord all the way down there, which is not great, but it's not like a problem. It's just not gonna look so pretty, right? But the really, really nice thing about this is because you're doing that, you don't have your PDU here. Usually you have your PDU here that takes up space. And why space is important is if you're taking up space, right, you have less racks. You can see how many racks we have. By the way, these miners are going to be laid flat. They're not going to be standing up. They're going to be flat like this. So they're laying them flat like this, right? But there is no PDU, which means we can put more rows. And look how many rows we have here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. You got 11 rows, 3 miners a row, 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. So I got, okay, let's just combine them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times 11. So you got 77 miners that can fit here. And we have 2 more rows over there. So 77 times 3, if I counted it correctly. 4, 5, 6, 7 times 11. 77 times 3, what is that? 230, 40 or something like that. So a decent amount of miners here. And then we have the switches over here. And you can see that they haven't built out the networking yet. They're all empty. But you can imagine how they're going to be pulling that. This is a prototype, by the way, so maybe they'll build some sort of carry system. Probably that plastic one right there around the side here, and then going down, something like that. Probably coming into this right here, actually. So from here, right, and then coming down here, and then going through this hole into there, right, from this hole over here that way. So you guys get the idea. They're going to run it like that most likely. And then you also have your power being run right up here. Can't see it, but guessing and looking at how this PDU setup is built, we have a lot of connectors here, right? A lot of C19s. So these are 20 amp single port connections. You have one C19 to a C13 splitter if you're using like an S19, S21, unless it's one of the newer plug. But you get the idea, right? And all of that is then run up to the top right here and then hooked up to the main connection that's going out to the panel. By the way, we're going to find that panel here. I wonder where they put it. Anyway, here's the second row, same exact thing. And then the third row over here, same exact thing. Now you can see that this mining configuration, I don't know if we were the first ones or not, but we were the ones like a couple years ago that put our miners on the exhaust, right? You see how close we are to the exhaust? They're putting them right on the exhaust. They're not putting them out here and then putting an exhaust fan, right? They just have louvers there. So it looks like someone's copying us, unless someone before us, this is like 3 years ago when we did this, but it looks like someone is copying us, by the way. Anyway, you have that, right? Your exhaust is right on the exit of the container. And then they put in intake fans, which we think is a huge waste of time and a huge waste of money, right? You are creating problems by having intake fans. That's pretty silly and unneeded. And I think that they just, I don't know what the logic is here, other than trying to be different. I don't see any logic in that. And I'll show you guys when I get out there, outside of this container. Anyway, same exact setup here. Same, 350 amp breaker for this whole entire thing. You got this custom PDU. You got your little 20 amp breakers here. Maybe they're not even 20. Let me see. They're singles. If they're single phase, actually they are 20. If they're single phase C19, then they are going to be 20 amps. Okay. Here is the intake. So you have those fans. Not fans, the filtration system. By the way, we've been to some mining facilities out there that are using something similar to this, and that is not enough air. It's just not enough air. You have too little amount of volume here. You see that whole missing piece from here down there, right? And from here to this point, see that section right there? That could have been volume, right? That could have been volume, but instead of having volume, they cut it off. You got this metal piece over here that's cutting down the volume. You have this cutting down the volume. You have this cutting down the volume. So the only volume that you have is coming through this, right? This right here. And then the rest is cut off, and then over there, and so on, right? You are significantly killing air volume. So I would think that when outside temperatures are like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, your mining facility is overheating, right? Your miners, I mean, they'll run, sure, they'll run, but they're all like at their maximum temperature. And then when you get to 100, you probably can't run them. You have to turn them off. They're not going to be good enough. And it's all because of volume. And even if you could run, let's say, you know, they proved to me that actually it does run at 100. Even if they could, every single miner is at maximum temperature, maximum fan speed. And even when outside temperatures are like 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you're probably sitting at 100% fan speed either way, because it's already at the breaking point, and then you start overheating the chips. So like this type of setup is just not ideal. Again, I can't prove it. I'm just looking at this from the perspective of running mining operation, mining farms for years and years and years and years and years. You know, all the way back when Bitcoin was like $300. I know from experience this is not going to work, right? It's not going to work. Now they put intake fans there, right? Maybe that's what they're doing. But again, this is the prototype version. For the other digital shovel, the original, not original, but the previous version, they didn't have those. They just had the louvers. So maybe that's why they put those fans. Maybe that's the reason. And they're just not telling us that that's the reason. They're just pretending that it's their new iteration. That's probably why they put them there. They realize that this is a mistake, right? They should have removed all this. What they could have done is extended them and create more volume. What I mean by that is they could have increased the volume by extending this, even taking this metal right here and extending it to here. You already gave it this much volume, right? The filtration system will then extend up to here. You already gave it a decent amount of volume, and you do that for all of them. Also, if you remove this top and you just connect these pieces here and just make it like a box, right? Like the box that we have at our North Dakota site that we're going to be building, by the way. Maybe if you put that box in, that will significantly increase that volume. So that's what they need to do, and it looks like they didn't, and instead they went with fans, right? And the thing about those fans is it adds complexity, right? It's adding complexity. Because basically you're putting in more fans that can break, that will have issues, that consume power, and those fans are, you know, probably like 1,000, 2,000 watts each. So now you're just wasting power. They will break, and the thing about them is if they break, that's it. You have to fix them, because now, you know, let's say the opposite fan over there breaks, right? You know, let's say that fan over there breaks or that one breaks. Now this section, maybe this corner section, is now overheating, doesn't have enough air. So that's the thing. Now you're really depending on those fans. So I would get rid of those. I would increase the volume. Now for the exhaust area, they put louvers in. You see these louvers? The thing about these louvers is, here's the thing about them. You are creating backwards pressure when you're blowing on them. When those fans, when those miners turn on and they're all blowing on them, they have to be powerful enough to lift it. So basically the fan is blowing air and then it's being stopped by these louvers. They're pretty, you know, not so light. So you got to have a lot of fans blowing on them all the time to lift them up like this to have the air come out, right? Why have these louvers in the first place? Remove them, you know? If they're thinking about, well, what about rain and what about you know, like rain and snow and things like that? We got to protect the miners. Well, that's why you have a roof. Just build a roof. You know, have a roof extend like we're doing in North Dakota. Have it extend 4, 5, 6, 8 feet, whatever, however long you want it. And don't have any louvers and just have it just blow out. It makes a big difference. From all of our experience, like a little bit of suppression of airflow, just stopping it a little bit, has a significant impact on the miner. You know, let's say outside temperatures are 80, right? So your miner's mining at 75 C on the chip, let's say, right? And outside temperatures are 80, mining at 75. If you just stop the air a little bit, right? If you just put something in front of the miner, in front of the exhaust, like you just put your hand in front of the exhaust like this, right? And it's still blowing it out, but your hand is in the way. That miner in about 10 minutes will overheat. That's how fast, you know, it'll overheat. That's how much of an impact it has. Even if it doesn't overheat, the fan speeds, the chip temp will go up to like 88 or 85, you know, so now you're losing efficiency. So again, all of those things is why we don't have louvers. I don't recommend louvers, and why we have a giant, huge volume box, right? A filtration volume box that gives it all the volume it needs, all the air. It's all natural. How much air it needs is how much it takes in. It doesn't need more than that. It doesn't get anything less than that. It just takes what it needs. You let the miner decide. Let the miner spin up those fans, those 4 fans, and let the miner decide how much air it needs. But anyway, other than that, the quality build is pretty good on these guys here. They look pretty decent. The breakers are nice. The build quality is nice. The metal is nice. Let me go back in there and show you a little bit more. These racks are decent, right? Pretty good, sturdy metal. This is also pretty thick, decent quality. You know, you got your exterior walls here. They're fine too. You know, it's got a little ventilation for the breaker here as it heats up. Ventilation. You know, in terms of quality, it looks pretty good. You know, this over here also is decent quality, but again, you don't need those. Yep. And that's pretty much it for this video. So would I recommend digital shovel? I mean, they look fine. I don't know what the pricing on these are, and again, it's a prototype, but if you're interested in them, and if you really wanted these, we don't really care. Like if you want to put these on your property and build out a farm, or you want to grab one of these and you know, do something with them, and you want us to help you set up your farm, I mean, it doesn't matter to us. We can work with any of these containers here, but I'm hoping you can customize them. You know, you want to talk to them and say, hey, get rid of these louvers, give me a roof. Hey, get rid of the exhaust, give me a volume box instead, or something like that. That'll significantly remove the fans. You know, that'll decrease price as well. So maybe you can work with them and remove those things, and actually work with us, because we can then you know, engineer that for digital shovel, and maybe they could build you a custom one that actually, you know, be of better use than going with the standard build here. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys like it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, go to cryptollc.org if you're looking to get yourself some Bitcoin miners, looking to jump in with us in North Dakota, get yourself a megawatt, or if you want to host a megawatt, we have all of that available, cryptollc.org. That's going to be it for this one. Until next time, goodbye.